All right, guys, so quick impromptu video. I really wasn't planning on doing this. Some of you guys know I've been up under the weather for a couple of days. And I did drop a video earlier explaining that. And I told you guys I was just going to lay around and try to get better today. You know, just rest, not do anything else. And for the most part, I have been doing that. But I did feel compelled to come on here because I did watch the replay tonight on Showtime of Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford for undisputed at 147 pounds. Now, some of you guys know I was actually at the fight. That's where I got this jacket at, the Spence Crawford jacket, if you guys can see here. But I was on the floor, and I just wanted to see, because I haven't watched it on television since I actually been to the fight. I wanted to watch the whole fight on television to see if anything, if I had any changes in my opinion or what I said about the fight itself. And honestly, I didn't really change anything when it came to what happened in the fight. I still think Terrence Bud Crawford was a superior fighter. I think the only change I have is in what happens in the rematch. Now, some of you guys know I said that, you know, the fight would be more competitive at 154 pounds due to Errol not having to diet down as much and being stronger at 154 pounds. I think he will be stronger at 154 pounds. But I did say that I think the outcome would be the same in the fight. And that part hasn't changed. But after watching Terrence Bud Crawford in action once again, I would have to say that the only chance that Errol has in this fight, even at 154 pounds, is a puncher's chance. That's right. Errol Spence Jr. only has a puncher's chance in this fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. I've seen a lot of flaws in Errol Spence Jr., and I don't know if he's going to be able to correct those. And just watching Terrence Bud Crawford in action, once again, the guy is an incredible fighter. The speed was killing Errol Spence Jr. The punch accuracy, the footwork, the counter punching. In his right hand, it was like kryptonite to Errol Spence Jr. There was nothing that Errol Spence Jr. could do in that fight against Terrence Bud Crawford. He completely nullified his best weapon, his jab. He took that away from him. And I told you guys in the lead up to the fight that Terrence Bud Crawford was stronger than Errol Spence Jr. That right hand, his jab hand, was hurting Errol all night long. He was finding a home with that right hand all night long. And that was due to the fact of Errol not moving his head, you know, Errol standing straight in front of him, not using lateral movement, you know, being stiff and robotic. You guys know how Errol is. He's like a cyborg. He's just going to keep coming. And boy, oh boy, was I in shock in the 6th round when he was backing Errol up. When have you ever seen Errol getting backed up by anyone? Watching that, watching Terrence Bud Crawford, just watching how fluid he was in his movement and his boxing IQ, it was just, I was just in awe of how great of a fighter he is. Just watching it the second time, totally impressed. There's a lot of things Errol's going to have to work on to beat Terrence Bud Crawford. That guy is a legend. He's a living legend right now. I don't see anybody touching him right now. I just don't. And if they fight in December, it could be, the outcome could be the same all over again. It might be even quicker this time, in my opinion. But just felt compelled, guys, to come on here and talk about that. You know, just watching it again, I just couldn't believe how one-sided that fight was. I did pick Crawford to win the fight. You guys know that. I made a prediction video. I said Crawford would stop Errol in 10. He did it in 9. But I didn't know that the fight would be one-sided. You know, I thought it would be a 50-50 fight. I saw two great fighters in the ring, but he made Errol look elementary in the fight. I couldn't believe it. Even sitting there at the fight, people were in shock. If you could see the looks on people's faces at the fight. Like, you know, people around me, they were at a loss for words. It was amazing to see. And hats off to Bud, guys, because, you know, a lot of people doubted him and he proved a lot of people wrong. He took that negative energy and, you know, he fed on it, and, you know, it catapulted him to the top of the boxing world. You know, I'm sure he had a chip on his shoulder. I'm sure he had a lot to prove. He wanted to prove everybody wrong, and he did. And you just have to give him his props. So all this excuse making, it just falls on deaf ears to me. You know, we've heard it all now. I heard Blue Blood talking about some stuff today, I think. A dent in his head, or Terrence Bud Crawford has something in his glove, something to the liking of that. And just all kind of excuses. And just let the guy enjoy his win. You know, he made history. He's a 2-time undisputed champion, back-to-back champion in the 4-belt era. The only person to ever do that besides him was Clarissa Shields. And it's quite possible that he could do it again at 154 if he can, you know, get that fight with Jermell Charlo. We know Jermell Charlo is going to be stripped, so he's not going to be the WBO champion anymore. So he might have to see Tim Tszyu. He might have to fight 2 fights to get it. But it's possible. He's just that damn good. And I'm just impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed. I haven't been this amazed by a fighter since Floyd Mayweather. And I think that's a good feeling. You know, that really is a good feeling because a lot of times in the sport, you know, we get a lot of stuff that we don't want to hear. You know, fights that don't take place because of these platforms not wanting to play together, or fighters ducking other fighters. It's very rare that we get a year like we had this year where all these fights that we want to see play out. This is a special year for boxing, and I'm just proud of the sport right now, and hopefully this will be the new norm. But anyway, like I said, guys, I was just compelled to come on here and talk about that. I just, you know, I watched it again, and I was just in awe of his skill set. And like I said, I don't think Errol can win that fight at 154. I think he only has a puncher's chance, in my opinion. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Errol Spence Jr.'s chances at 154. Do you think he can go up there and wash Terrence Bud Crawford? Do you think the outcome will be the same as it was in the first fight? You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.